Hi guys, Amber here. Welcome back to In Conversation with ATF. My guest today is a voice actress. She's best known for voicing Wonder Woman in the Super Friends franchise and many other surrounding shows. And that was voice directed by Wally Burr, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Only one correction.
Uh-huh.
Voice work was only part of my business.
Oh, right.
Yes,
Excuse
I
me, I do
did all
apologize.
the other factors as well, all the other fields as well. Yeah,
My guest is an actress
there
who
you
is
go.
specialised in voice work as well as on camera work. There we go. And you were Kim Butler in Valley of the Dinosaurs, weren't you?
Yes, that was another wonderful cast. That show didn't last but one season. We were quite disappointed about that.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's
Yeah.
okay. The Super Friends and the challenge of the Super Friends lasted 10 years. So
Wow, that's so cool. And my guest has also been in shows such as, oh, these are good ones. She's been on the Red Skelton Show. She's been on, oh, what was the other one? I Dream of Jeannie. Jeannie. Sorry, that's my accent. That's hard to pronounce
okay.
it.
That's okay.
My guest is Shannon Farnon. Hi.
Great Hera, it's Amber the fangirl.
Oh! Oh my gosh. Hi. Oh my gosh. It's Diana. Wonder Woman.
It's fun to see people get excited about Wonder Woman because
Oh,
it's a very special character.
she is indeed. Oh my gosh. So it's so lovely to talk to you this evening. Of course, I'm a fan of Super Friends and also Valley of the Dinosaurs. I've spoken to a few people from that. I've spoken to Kathy Gorey, who was in it, who was Katie Butler.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course you had like many people, like you've worked with many folk, including Casey Kasem, Joan Gardner, Alan Oppenheimer, Frank Welker, Don Messick, and wow.
There are too many to name. We had the most wonderful regular cast and such talented guests all the time. We often were 10 and more standing at microphones in the studio.
Wow, that's so cool. It must have been just
Yeah.
so great to like have everyone around and oh yeah, and John Stevenson as well. He was
Oh,
in
yes. Lovely
yeah.
man.
Oh,
Lovely man. There
yeah,
are very few of us alive. We should get together and have a very small reunion.
yeah. I mean, you know what GalaxyCon is, right? It's a little convention company. During the pandemic, they do like little live stream Q&As, like different reunions and stuff. I know they did a Transformers one with Frank and Peter Cullen. They should have a little Super Friends one, like a little
Yes, they
Q&A.
should.
That'd
I
be
just wish there were more Super Friends still kicking. That's the way it
yeah,
goes.
yeah, bless. But honestly, like I don't know a lot of people who can say who have worked with all of those people that I've just mentioned.
I know that was it was just beyond, it was valuable beyond even explaining, because in the process I learned from them, hopefully they learned from me, but I was really surrounded by the best in the voice field, and that was special because I did not expect to go into animated cartoon work. The voice work I had done prior to that was strictly advertising, so it was very special.
Ah, that's so cool. So, of course, because I'm a voice actress myself, I'd like to dabble in the little voiceover part of your life first, if that's okay.
I'm sorry, what would you like?
Um, sorry, it's my accent. I sometimes have to talk too fast. Well, because I've just recovered from a cold and quite nasally, so do excuse me.
No
Um,
problem.
because I'm a voice actress myself, I'd like to dabble in, when I say dabble, I mean like, like kind of explore the voiceover part of your life first, if that's
Oh,
okay.
sure, no problem.
Yeah. So I'd like to ask, how did you get started in voiceover?
Well, in my 20s, I decided to have children. And I thought, what a great thing to develop. I mean, I've obviously used my voice since I started acting at the age of 15.
Yeah.
But I thought, what a great side career of the business to develop for a pregnant woman, because there aren't a whole lot of roles for pregnant people. And so I got started, got the thing together, got a tape ready, and brought it to my agent. And I started doing voice work, but mostly advertising. lo and behold, in one of the commercials that I did, live action commercials, and commercials was a huge part of my business. I worked with Wally Burr. He directed a Hanna-Barbera Flintstone vitamin commercial. And great guy, we talked, we got to know each other on the set, and that was that. You know, you go into work, you're through, you're gone, it's over. Down the line, I got a call from my agent saying, you have an audition to interview for the voice of Wonder Woman at Hanna-Barbera. Well, thought it was a joke. And so I went, and Wally Burr was the director. And we worked together in a little booth and talked about what she should have as a character. And of course, there's a lot of parts to Wonder Woman. So we developed her, and I auditioned, and of course the network bought it, and that was a great 10 years.
Wow, that's so cool. While you just explained about that, I've just found some photos that I've saved on my phone, and it's of behind the scenes of Super Friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So whilst I figure out a way to try and transfer them onto my computer, I'd like to ask you, obviously you recorded back in the day Ensemble, because I know Wally Bird did that with a lot of the shows he did, because he did G.I. Joe, he did Transformers, they were both like Sunbow productions. And he also did, what was it? There was another show that he did, which I'm trying to remember the name of. What was it?
You mean cartoon?
Yeah, it was a cartoon, but it was another Hanna-Barbera show. I can't remember what it was. I might have to.
No, I didn't. I only did those 2 shows over there. I did a lot of promos and side things using the character Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
He did Hong Kong Phooey.
Oh, but I didn't.
Director for that.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, it was a Hanna-Barbera show that he did like back in.
But you know, most shows were done with all the people together whenever possible. They could always, you know, record you separately if you had another gig, and they were very kind about encouraging whatever was going on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's really cool. And like nowadays, obviously you can't record like well you could record like in an ensemble if you could, but I think since the pandemic happened, not a lot of people have really just been down for it, or we can't get each other together anymore unless it's over a Zoom call because of everyone's schedules and everything like that. So it's not really just, it doesn't happen a lot anymore. So
well, the business has changed a great deal over the years. That's just normal. But things are loosening up here quite a bit. There are a lot of restrictions for work, but I worked several times during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And as the performer doesn't have to wear a mask and things like that, but of course everyone else did, and had all through the rigmarole of testing, etc. But it's doable. And I fortunately, knock on wood, I have not ever come down with COVID. So whatever I'm doing, I'm going to keep doing it.
Well, that's good. I've unfortunately had COVID twice. So that was quite painful. Yeah. And what's worse is that it was in the same month span. I had it back in January and I've just had it again in June. I was like, oh dear.
Well, what can we say?
Yeah.
This is the new normal.
Yeah, what happens, I suppose. I've managed to transfer some of the pictures onto my computer. I do apologize if actually, now you're gonna have to forgive me because some of these don't have names, but of course I can recognize Frank Welker from them because
yes.
Like, let me just quickly here we go. Now you also have to probably wait a minute because this will probably freeze. Oh no, it's fine. Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah, that's very early in the game. This is from my left to right. Frank, of course, you recognize. You can use your arrow. Mm-hmm. And then the gal next to him is, I believe that's Sherry Alberoni, who did one of the Wonder Twins. Mm-hmm. Isn't that what we were doing? Wonder Twins, yeah. Mm-hmm. And Casey Kasem, look at the hair.
Oh my gosh, that's Casey. I didn't realize.
Yes. And next to him is the voice of Batman, U.N.C.L.E.
U.N.C.L.E, yeah. Yeah, because Casey was Robin as well, wasn't
he? Yeah, oh yes. And then moi. I'm sure there were other people in there, but that's all we see.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I feel so bad for not recognizing you now.
Love that picture.
I know. I don't mind sending it to you if you want.
Yes, that would be delightful.
Yeah. Have you ever seen this before?
Not really, not unless I did at the time, but that was a few years ago.
Oh, that's really interesting. That. I'm just gonna quickly change applications real quick. Sorry, I something in my eyes, so I was like, oh yeah, just totally not getting emotional at looking at old pictures. um, and here's one with John Stevenson and Frank, and I believe forgive me if I pronounce his name wrong. I'm terrible. U.N.C.L.E. Is that how
U.N.C.L.E.
U.N.C.L.E.
Yes.
U.N.C.L.E. Yeah.
He was a very famous, also advertising voice actor. He was early in his career, he was in Chicago, I believe, and just worked constantly.
That's so cool. Let's just have a look. I believe that is Olan on the left.
Yes, that's Olin and John
Stevenson and Frank
Walker.
Yeah, it's just weird to think that Frank was like the youngest in like, the biz and doing stuff, and nowadays he's like the oldest.
Well, nowadays he's one of the few alive.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, I think Frank and I were the youngest of whoever, at the time. Well, Sherry was young. She married a doctor and is a very happy mama.
Oh, wow. Dawn of the Super. This picture, it says it's Dawn of the Super Friends, but there is no show matching that name, so I just presume it was like the early days of Super Friends.
Yeah, this is like a standard photo. I have that one myself. Again, it's from left to right. It's Olin and Casey, Sherry Alberoni. The center standing guy is
Danny Dark,
Superman's voice, and Frank, everybody's voice.
The Norman Alden. I was
Norman Alden, another good friend.
Oh,
and, yeah, I mean, oh my, there's just three of us in that picture still alive.
Really?
Yeah.
If I believe, I know obviously Frank's still alive. I know Casey died in 2004. Olan 1994. You're obviously here. I mean, he's talking to me right now. So
that's right. No, I'm who's standing between Norman and Danny.
So who's the other one that's still around?
Well, Sherry.
Is it Sherry?
This is Sherry Alberoni in there.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Like Wendy, that was the name I was. Didn't they
Wendy, yeah. So who played? Why did I say Diana? I don't know where I got that from.
Well, Diana is Wonder Woman.
I made a mistake. My headphones fell off. Is the name of I don't know. Yes, I was probably was getting it confused with Wendy. Yeah, that's my fault. That's the last time next time I'm tilting my head down, I'm just gonna hold them like that. Forgive me. And of course we have the final image. You'll have to bear with me. This will all be spliced.
These are such fun. My goodness, Amber. This is like going down memory lane.
Oh, bless. Well, I hope I'm not too, clowning around much with my headphones falling off and stuff. Here's a full cast photo.
I have that photo too. This is the full. Yeah, this is the full basic cast, definitely, because John did our narration, I believe, right? Or did he ever do it?
It was Ted Knight.
Ted Knight did. So he's missing from this picture, but he was our narrator, Ted Knight. And of course, Wally Burrs on the floor.
Yeah, John was Colonel Wilcox, and Cedric. He was Mr. Huggins, Grunk, King Plasto, Lupus. Yeah. So there's John there, there's Frank there, there's Sherry, there's Casey, there's you, there's Norman, there's Wally.
And Olin, you missed naming Olin standing next to John.
And Olin, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And Olin, yeah, of course, and Danny, I believe.
Yeah. And behind them are the caricature pictures of our voices, of who we were.
Oh, so cool. Wow. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to make a promise to you. When I go to Scotland to meet Frank, I'm going to say that I spoke to you. And
of course, tell him I love him still.
Yeah, oh, bless it. He was He was Marvin White, and the dog in it, Wonder Dog. That's his name.
That's right.
I'm gonna just search this up now because it's been a few months, and I'm just like, yeah, I've just got to refresh my memory. I really should have done this before, but obviously me being
memory is wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah, yours is as well, because like you're the one who experienced it all firsthand.
Well, it gets, it's nice to see the pictures. Now, if you start showing me everybody who ever performed in our show, then I might forget a few names.
Sherry Albarone. Well, oh yeah, she was. Oh my gosh, I forgot she was in the Mickey Mouse Club. That was where she first started.
Yes.
She was in all Mighty Autobots. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm probably gonna have to get her on my show as well.
As far as I know, she does the Mickey Mouse specials that they have at Disneyland or whatever. Through the years, they've called those kids back who are obviously not kids, but they've done a lot of shows. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Live shows for Disneyland.
That's so cool. Wow. Well, she's a definite get on my show next. I'll have to say,
I love her. Tell her I love her.
I will. Of course I will. Of course I will. Of course. Oh. And you did Valley of the Dinosaurs as well, which was another Hanna-Barbera show. And of course, Kathy Gorey, who I had on my show, one of my first guests. Yeah, she was. She was so great, and she just remembered a lot of things, and it's just so cool how everyone remembers this stuff. And of course,
I haven't seen Kathy since that show, but I hope she's well.
Really? Well, she's on Twitter and she's on Facebook. I think I have her email. If I do, I might have to say, oh yeah. I don't. Yeah. I have to put you two in touch.
Put us together.
Yeah, of course. So Valley of the Dinosaurs, it says, oh yeah, they have a pet Stegosaurus, and I was like, I wonder who voices the pet Stegosaurus. It's Frank
Welker.
It's like every single animal in there.
When in doubt, it's Frank Welker.
Exactly. He's the man to call. Oh my gosh. And he was Digger and Look. He was the teenage son. Oh right. And, he was the dog as well.
There is no such thing as a list long enough to put down Frank Welker's characters.
His IMDb page takes about 2 minutes to load because of how big it is.
Well, and I'm sure that it's missing things. I mean, mine is certainly missing all kinds of areas of my career, but is it really worth my spending time doing all that? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm just having a lot. Right. Oh, this is so funny. I want to show you a lot. Oh well, let's not do it. Well, on my phone it takes ages to load. I'll probably have to show you after this interview because it's really funny. Anyways, so Valley of the Dinosaurs. So you, of course, also did that ensemble. Was that also voice directed by Wally Burr, or was that someone else?
It was, but occasionally other directors would come in and handle a show. And, I couldn't possibly remember the episodes, but we also had Don Jurwich direct the Challenge of the Super Friends. So, you just, whoever showed up is who you took your direction from.
Yeah, of course. And I know a lot of people did work for Hanna-Barbera. I know there was Andrea Romano, Gordon Hunt, Chris Zimmerman, of course, Wally, and yeah, just a lot of people really did it. So yeah, that's really cool.
The building is no longer there.
I know, yeah. It got demolished a few years back. I think it's like housing now, I think.
Well, I don't know I've forgotten what it is, but I could be a parking lot for all I know.
I'll have to have a look. You've inspired me to look that up later now.
Yeah. Google it.
I will do indeed. So it says like Wonder Woman was technically your last voiceover job. So you haven't done any voiceover since then? Apparently you got replaced.
No, regular voiceover, not cartoon voiceover.
Ah, right.
Yeah, remember, I started, the cartoon was a gift.
Yeah.
But it was not a staple of my work.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I never focused on creating all these, although I have them. I've got a lot of audition tapes with crazy voices, but it's just not an area that I put enough focus on to keep that going.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah. So obviously you still do voiceover now, but like, like commercials and stuff like that, right?
Yes, I am available for work because an actor never retires. They just go between jobs.
Yeah. If you were offered to do another cartoon, would you do it?
Probably. It would depend on the role. Because, I'm a little lazier than I used to be. So if it was a voice challenging role, I would have to consider very carefully.
Ooh, what if you were asked to return as Wonder Woman for something?
Oh, of course, that would be lovely, but I can guarantee you that is not going to happen. No, I don't know. There have been people who have done Wonder Woman for shorter periods of time, but they're not going to call me for that now.
Oh, bless.
Get a younger woman. Are you kidding me?
Oh, you're the OG, I believe. You're the original one.
I am.
Yeah, of course.
Voice. But that doesn't mean anything to people putting these shows together. Not really. It does to some.
Same people casting Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt and all these celebrities and animated shows and films and stuff. Yeah, and just it's the appeal. People will know who this person is. But they'll just say, like, I know he's doing a new Garfield film, and for some reason they replaced Frank with Chris Pratt. I think when he does his voice, it's just going to be Chris Pratt and not Garfield. He's not going to even try and sound like Garfield. That's what these celebrities do. They just use their normal voice.
Yeah, pretty much.
Really annoying.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Although obviously there are some talented celebrities with voice work as well. So.
Yeah, I know. Mark Hamill is obviously one of them who has like properly become like an established voiceover actor since obviously he was cast as the Joker in the animated Batman series from the 90s. I know, like, he was an on-camera actor because he was Luke Skywalker, but then like he's now like an actually established voiceover actor as well.
Yes, I mean that became his career.
Yeah, of course. I wish I could get him for my show, but he doesn't do podcasts because he gets so many offers. Like, he has to turn down every single one.
He's probably a busy man.
He is indeed. Oh, but he's so cool as well. Like, wow. Like, it's just so cool just to talk to everyone. And just, you think.
Well, that you really enjoy it, and it shows.
Yeah, of course. It really does pay off. Because I see people like enjoying my interviews. I had a message from someone the other day saying, you are now my go-to playlist for when I visit the gym. I was like, thank you.
Oh.
I was like, oh, that's... I felt so honored. I was like, well, I'm glad to keep you entertained, and I'm glad to motivate you to exercise during this little... Yeah, during this, your little time at the gym. I'm like... So blessed.
Yeah, you spoke to Mike Bell too. He and I
did.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike was so cool. He was the second person I spoke to for this show. My first one was
one of the funniest people.
Yeah, he's
a very funny man. And his wife is lovely and an absolutely sensational artist.
Victoria, yeah, and they have a daughter as well. I think her name's Ashley. She's made a documentary about
Ashley is
elephants. Yeah, she's really cool.
Beautiful job.
Yeah, wonderful family, very talented.
Yeah,
of course. So I'd like to ask you now, of course, about your on-camera career, if that's okay.
Well, my goodness. It started when I was 24. And it just kept going. It was quite nice. I have to say the first 30 years were very active, and it just had a life of its own, and I enjoyed every minute of it. I have a list of shows, and I'm still doing. I now have been involved for the last 3 years in doing movies for a young man who happens to be an attorney who is just passionate about developing a big story around a gay superhero. And he is the gay superhero. And I am one of the wise sentinel people in his movies, and it's great fun. And they get better and better as he learns more and more. And so now I'm in the world of gay superhero movies.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. Representation. I love it. Yeah, that's so wholesome.
Well, his shows are always called Surge of Power, and then whatever tag line adds to the title of the movie. So people can Google Surge of Power.
Surge of Power.
Surge of Power.
I'll remember that. I'll check that out later for sure.
And there she is.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. She's like right there, like on the internet. It just appears right in front of your face. It's so magical how this place works. This little thing inside a square digital box thing.
Yeah, the little box that I first saw was about this big.
Oh yeah, it was like
that was exciting.
A monitor. It was like
that was exciting.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. You've also been on the Red Skelton Show as well, which
that was early in my career.
Oh yeah.
There was a gal who to this day we communicate, Jackie Joseph. She's a sweetheart. She was also, we were like Hawaiian dancer types.
Yeah, because you're credited as Island Girl.
Oh my gosh, when you go back. I mean, very early in my career, I worked with a girlfriend in a dance group, and she and I had a singing and dancing act that we would take on, go up the clubs up the West Coast. So I've been all over the map.
Wow, that's so cool. Wow, what would you say your most proudest moment on camera has to be?
I did a role on, I believe it was The Young and the Restless, a guest spot where I was the mother of a child who was killed by a drunk driver.
Mm-hmm.
And she does this very moving, beautifully written speech at an AA meeting. And it was very special. I was very proud of it.
What's bless? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I've done a lot of things and co-starred and starred in a few and enjoyed them all. One of the movies I did was I did a character of a movie star, and I was quite good at it. But I've enjoyed my work a lot. Well,
that's good to hear. Yeah,
proud to be able to keep it going.
Yeah, of course, especially with the new generation, like discovering the old super
now
friends.
They're still calling me. It's just such fun.
I know, yeah, and like
a different world now.
It's so cool. Like like I've heard of actors like who have done work in like the 60s and stuff, but they can like sort of like retired or like phased out. But I know like hardly a few who actually keep on going to this day. So you should be really proud of yourself, Shannon. Like you're pat on the back, yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, like wow, I just wish to be that awe-inspiring because I get tons of auditions every day, and out of the 10 I get, I succeed in one of them, maybe.
You do it one day at a time.
Yeah.
And to be fortunate enough to get a role like Wonder Woman that represents so much of the finest of women.
Yeah.
And that single role, you feel automatically proud. I felt proud of being able to originate her voice because it's such a special position for a woman. And to this day, I'm very proud of doing it and protective of her. So going to these comic conventions is a joy because I get to see so many people who, they start crying when they see me. Now, mind you, some of course have seen me on camera in other roles, but they're crying because they just met Wonder Woman. And if that doesn't move you as a performer, you're already dead.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and I know a lot of people have succeeded as Wonder Woman. I know Abby Trott's recently done it for a video game called Multiverses. Susan Eisenberg did it for like Justice
Right.
League. BJ Ward like
Yes.
succeeded you after Super
Yes.
Friends, but no one compares to the original Wonder Woman. Like
Thank
when they meet you,
Amber.
you are you are literally Wonder Woman.
Thank you, Amber.
You're welcome. Like, have you ever been to England? Because
Oh, many times.
really, oh my gosh, you'd be great
Many
at a
times.
convention.
Actually, my uncle, his name is Robert Farnon,
Mm-hmm.
a very famous light classical musician, composer, and conductor over there.
Really?
He has passed away in the last 10 years. He passed away. And one of his brothers, my dad's other brother,
Mm-hmm.
was Dennis Farnon.
Wow.
And he's also a very accomplished musician. He did the music for I think it was Bullwinkle, or yeah. And he recently died. He lived in Amsterdam.
Wow. He
Yeah.
what?
It's Dennis, Robert, and my dad was an orchestra leader his whole life, Brian. So the three boys I was born in Canada. The three boys were born and raised in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And we came from County Cork as a family in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mostly Irish, Scotch, and Welsh.
Oh, you're Welsh. Wow.
And I'm 25% Scandinavian and only 12% English, but that counts.
Yeah, of course it does. Wow. I didn't know Dennis did the music for Bullwinkle. That's so cool. Like
And I think he could have done things for Mr. Magoo too.
That is so cool, because I literally just did a documentary last year on the voice of Bullwinkle, Bill Scott.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Well, you must look up Dennis.
Yeah, I'm looking him up now. Like, he
and
died
Dennis,
a few months before I started making that documentary.
Dennis and his wife at the time founded the Grammy Awards.
Wow.
So when Dennis passed away, they did a tribute to him. And his wife is, at the time, she's now in her 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And she lives at a lovely senior residence home about a block and a half from me.
Wow.
I'm very close with her daughter.
Oh, you come from some very talented roots. You have
I do.
The Farns.
It's hard to keep up with that sort of background.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're Wonder Woman. Your uncle's brother. I mean, it was Dennis Roberts' brother, right? My
dad was Dennis, and Robert's.
Your dad was Dennis. Excuse me, I do apologize.
No, my dad is Brian.
Oh, right. Okay. So your dad's Brian, your uncle's Robert.
And my other uncle is Dennis.
Your other uncle is Dennis. Yeah, your other uncle did the music for Bullwinkle, like,
yeah.
Unfounded the Grammys. Oh my gosh. Like, so cool.
Yeah, you'll have fun discovering them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, unfortunately, I think we're going to get cut off soon. So
yes,
I think that pretty much wraps off the interview, if that's okay. We could do a part 2 someday. I don't mind.
It's absolutely delightful to get together with you. I know we had to postpone several times, but we're here.
Yeah, we finally managed to make it.
That's all that matters.
Finally managed to make it work. So, Shannon, thank you so much for talking to me this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure. Can we find you on the internet? Have you got a website? Have you got any?
I do YouTube videos occasionally. So
okay, I'm subscribing.
Shannon Farnon. When you go to YouTube, bingo, you'll see all of these things.
Found you.
Okay.
Yep. And so is it just YouTube that you've got?
Well, yes, I'm on Facebook. You can look me up on Facebook. Okay. And also, of course, I am DB.
Sweet, cool. Well, in that case, I'll put those in the description. And to you at home, thank you so much for watching this interview. Well, casual conversation with Shannon Farnon, the original voice of Wonder Woman, and also an actress both on camera and in voiceover. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, I need to start saying that, because I know a lot of people have really criticized me for saying voiceover actor instead of just actor. because like voiceover work isn't their speciality, if you get what I mean.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, Susan Eisenberg, whom I just think is delightful, she and I are friends. She is a voice actor.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, and BJ Ward as well, and Abby Trott.
No, BJ Ward did other things.
Oh,
she's quite a singer.
Oh yeah, she's a singer. Yeah. I just remembered. Yeah.
I mean, she's a talented woman. So you never know what's lurking behind somebody's resume.
So with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you around. Bye, and cut.